Back to basics, back at it again, having fun in the kitchen this weekend. Tonight is all about shrimp risotto. So good. Can't wait. It's always one of those kind of gut busters, feels good in your tummy. And we've had actually a pretty nice day today, but it's gonna start getting cold. So this is about the perfect time to be able to have a meal such as this. Pan's warm. I got lots of olive oil in there already. Gonna take our shrimp that I've already prepped. A little trick on this one to make it look like you spent way more money than you actually did. Cut the shrimp in half. Family has no idea, but you made double. It's great. So I'm just gonna give it just a quick flash fry. Just a bit of olive oil. Just a couple seconds, super fast. We're just gonna caramelize it a little bit, get a little bit of color, so that way when we put it back in at the end, all we're doing is reheating. Okay, because we're gonna toss a whole bunch of things in right at the very last minute. So typically we would do this in the restaurant as well. Start a hot pan. Just get these going just that littlest bit. They are small enough that you don't need to do this, but it's just something that we've always done, or at least I've always done in the restaurant. So just super fast. We're gonna fish these guys back out, nice and warm. I got some really fine green-moise shallots. I got some nicely sliced leeks. Those are gonna go in right now as our pan is singing a song for us. So let's get these in here. Quick saute, nothing special. We want to keep translucent. You're gonna look in the pan and say, why so much oil? No wonder you're a fat chef. Well, that might be part of it. Might be a little bit. When we make risotto, always start with probably 2 or 3 times the amount of oil that you typically would making a pasta or incorporating things. What we want to do is once we add that arborio in, it's going to absorb all that olive oil flavor. That's what starts kicking off our experience with the risotto. Just makes it absolutely fantastic. So we can see we've sweated off. We've got they're pretty well translucent. Now's the time to hit it with some arborio. Okay, this is dinner tonight, so we'll do some pretty healthy sized portions. It is for 3 of us. So now what we want is we want to make sure that we're coating every grain of rice. You can see it has a bit of olive oil on it. Okay, you can see all that oil, most of all that oil has been absorbed. Okay, so just a quick stir. Now we're gonna hit it. We're brought to you by Sandhill. Yeah, I'm gonna tag Sandhill in this for sure. Again, another BC wine. Let's crank some in, give it a little twist and a spin. Okay, that was 3/4, 2/3 of a bottle. Anyway, that's the way we roll. So now what we want to start doing as we're doing our cooking out our arborio, we don't want to stir it too much more from here on out. What the idea is we want the rice to absorb. Okay, so it's kind of recognized as a sticky rice, super absorbent. So this is going to get 3 to 4 times bigger. So it's just going to continue to absorb. The trick is with arborio is the more you agitate it, the stickier and creamy and dense that it gets. So right now we're just going to let it do its job. We're going to turn the heat down to probably medium. And we'll just start babysitting it. So once that wine has absorbed into the arborio, that's when we're going to start adding our stock. Okay, and then at the very end we start adding in all of our flavoring agents. So that's what's next. So we can see, you can start seeing the bottom of the pan. A little bit too high heat, so just a little bit less. So again, you see I'm just being super gentle. Just moving the rice. I want to be able to see the bottom of the pan. What that's going to actually tell me is, hey chef, I need some more liquid. So we got some warmed up chicken stock. Again, I keep saying this, we said it in a few episodes now, warm stock with warm product. Okay? So again, don't want to over agitate. So we're just going to make sure that nothing's sticking on the bottom. That's it. Pound the rest of that bottle of Sandhill or do something, have a fight with the dog. I don't care, run around the block. Makes no difference to me what you do. But this is just a nice, easy, slow process. There's not a whole lot that we do to this from here on out, except at the end. Magic happens at the end. So we're just gonna let that hang out. Every time that we start seeing the bottom of that pan, we're just gonna continue to add more stock. Okay, so tomato concasse. That's what we're gonna do right now. So nice ripe tomato. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've taken the core out. I've done just a quick crisscross score. It's going in boiling salted water. So we would just want it in here quite literally for maybe 30 seconds. Essentially what we're just gonna do is blister the skin. So the skin's just gonna peel right off. So that is really, we're almost there. You can see that it's already starting to come off. It'll come off super easy once it goes in the water. So now we're just gonna shock it in a nice bath. Okay, so you can just see this, the skin just comes right off. It's just awesome. So tomato concasse really is what we're doing. We're taking the skin off and then we're gonna de-seed it. So on that crisscross pattern, both ways, take our paring knife. We're just gonna run along the inside. Not gonna take off too much meat. We still wanna keep the meat, but we wanna take the seeds out. Just get those last little bits, okay? Okay, so we're just gonna do just a nice dice. You see that I've already done some. So we just wanna run lengthwise. We're gonna flip it, go across the other side. There we have just a nice dice. So that's it, tomato concasse. So you can see when you whip past, here's the bottom of the pan, yeah? So let's just make sure that we're hitting it with a bit more stock. You can also see the granules themselves are really quite white in the inside. Those are gonna go a little bit more translucent. So you can see that it's probably about a third cooked out, and we'll just let it keep going. So just minimal stirring. There's not much we wanna do with this. We don't wanna develop the stickiness of this. We still want the separate granules, but at the end we'll give it a good kick. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit closer. You can see the color starting to change significantly without question. I'm gonna take a little bite. Still a little bit on the tooth. So this is the time where we're just gonna add a little bit more liquid, not very much. Okay, just enough, let everybody swim a little bit more. Just give it a light agitation. Okay, not moving around too much. I should turn the heat down just a little bit more. So now we're gonna really let this start to absorb, and then we'll start adding the rest of our flavoring agents in. Perfect, we're ready to go here. So nice kind of casual process. We've been hanging out in the kitchen, having some beer and wine, just kind of chilling out a little bit. Now is the time to rock and roll. So we're gonna be adding, what do we got over here? We've got some frozen peas, because I like my frozen peas. They work, they're good. Okay, those go in there. We already saw about the tomato concasse. These are going in right now, basically at the end, because they just need to be reheated a little bit. That's about it. Now is going to be the time where I'm going to start seasoning. Cooking for 3, so it needs a fair amount of salt. Okay. Good amount of pepper. I'm also going to add in some nubs of butter. Yes, Glenn, I cook with a lot of butter. It's good. I love it. So does my belly, and I love it. Okay, so those are going to go in. Now, I said don't agitate. Now agitate. So people have the misconception that risottos are, there's lots of cream in the risotto. That's actually not the case. If you're actually going out for dinner and the chef puts cream in the risotto, leave. Obviously doesn't know what they're doing. Okay, so now we're gonna agitate. That's where that creamy aspect of a risotto starts coming in. The butter certainly helps, without question. You can see it's flying all over the floor, which is good. And we're gonna just keep agitating. We're gonna keep moving it. You can see it tightening up. You can see it's sort of a little bit creamy as well, right? It's not in just individual grains. It's really starting to come together. Okay. Gonna add the shrimp back in, just to warm back up. Well, bowl full of beautiful fresh spinach. Fire that in. And yes, Mish, if you see this video, I will cook this for you next time you come out from Edmonton. So now we just want to fold everybody in. We want to get that spinach in there. Obviously, it looks like there's a ton of spinach in there. This is going to go down basically to nothing, right? So just keep folding that in. Really coming together. And as we're still on the heat here, you'll notice that everything's really starting to bind and come together nicely. We don't want to go too much further. And of course, fresh parm. Get that on there. We will be putting some on the top, but this is just going to help balance out, added flavor into our risotto here. Oh my God, looks so good. Okay. One last go at it. Turn our heat off. We're going to double check for seasoning. A little bit more salt. Oh man. Really coming together. A little bit of pepper. And next is on to plating. So you can see it's actually, the risotto is actually standing up on the plate a little bit. It's not super mushy and falling away. That would just mean that we're way too much liquid still left in it. We're pretty much perfect right now. We can still see beautiful strands of spinach. We got our tomato concasse we can still see in there. Beautiful peas. Now let's just finish it off the top with some grated parm. Oh my goodness. Here we go, last one. And yes, I'll take the bigger portion. There we go, seafood risotto. Super straightforward, beautiful, great meal for this time of year. Love you guys, stay safe.